We didn't have anything really in the way of comments. Spoiler
alert. Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah. If you gotten this far into the podcast, we're absolutely going to talk about the F1 movie. This is going to be the last. This is going to take up probably the next 45 minutes because we don't agree on this. I liked it. Kevin did not like this movie.
Which is fun because I'm typically not the hard critic.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. I actually did like this movie. I wrote out general details on why. Look, it's a fun action movie. It is a popcorn movie. It is a movie you go to the theaters to see. It's got good action. Visuals were fantastic. That is something that both of us agreed on. The visuals were great. Joseph Kosinski did a great job putting together a lot of the race footage. I liked the aspects that they gave us for the inter-team stuff. There are some problems with this movie, however. There are some aspects of this movie, and this is so far non-spoiler. There are aspects of this movie that I did have problems with. I don't think this is a perfect film, but as far as just like fun summer blockbuster style action movies are concerned, this is your classic kind of action movie script. It's not going to revolutionize everything, but it's a fun movie. It's going to get some people into the sport. And then when they watch their first Grand Prix weekend, they're going to go, what's qualifying? So yeah, now go ahead. I'll let you go.
I have loosened, whatever word you want to use. Lessened my,
Lessened.
Yeah. Okay. So I said it right the first time.
Yeah.
I've lessened my hate for this movie. Honestly, I never even hated the movie. I've lessened my disdain, my issues for this movie. If you have not watched an F1 race, if you're trying to get into F1, I highly encourage you to watch this movie. The visuals are absolutely fantastic.
If you're starting from zero or very low, yeah, this is a great movie to just like kind of get into.
The visuals are absolutely stunning. They're fantastic. They give you the angles that you can't get from, say, Drive to Survive or whatever. Mm-hmm. The visuals are fantastic. The music is stunning. The scenes are great. Like, the breakdown that they do give is very good. Now, here I will go. Spoiler alert. If you have not watched, scroll. Find another one of our shorts to watch. I never bought into Brad Pitt's character.
If this is the end of the episode for you, by the way, thank you so much. Subscribe.
I never bought into Brad Pitt's character. You completely miss qualifying. Nobody wrecks 30 feet in the air. Let's see where else.
I'll fact check you on that. Okay, continue.
30 feet in the air.
I've sent you this clip. This is based off of there is a crash in the movie that it is based off of an F3 crash that did happen in Monza that looked just like that almost. And it's based off that and Romain Grosjean's crash in Bahrain. They mixed them.
Okay. Nevertheless, it's not very common, but either way.
It's certainly not common.
Either way. If anybody wrecked into that many markers onto a track, they'd be banned.
Yeah.
For sure. Black flagged fan.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want to call it, they'd be done.
Plan C, buddy.
Yeah, plan C.
Plan C. Plan chaos.
What else happened in this race that I did not care for?
You mean the movie?
All right, the race, movie, whatever. Lewis Hamilton.
You can't completely skip qualifying and then walk onto the grid on a Sunday to race.
Not typically. That's not. That's not typically how things go.
No, not normally.
So also and then I'll just end it with this. Nobody is going to walk into Kick Sauber and then immediately start fighting for race wins. I don't care who you are. Other than maybe Max Verstappen, but if I'm not wrong,
all right,
they didn't go out and hire a Max Verstappen. They got Sonny Hayes, who was like, we're talking 3 decades since he drove a Formula One car.
Okay, I have some pushback.
Okay,
all right.
Hit me with your pushback.
All right, so generally speaking,
but before you get into the pushback, if you haven't watched F1, I highly encourage it. I think the film did a good job of what it was supposed to do. I think the characters could have been better. And I'll end it with this. We do not need a sequel.
I can't wait for the sequel. So
F1 Part 2.
F1 Part 2. It'll be great. No, so Brad Pitt's character in the movie he's not 63 the way that Brad is in real life. He's supposed to be portrayed as somebody in his 50s. Now, that still sounds like it's really old, but remember, there is a rookie on the grid this year named Fernando Alonso who's in his 40s. So, I mean, the suspension of disbelief is not as drastic. As far as the crash that you mentioned, it is based off of an F3 crash that did happen in Monza at the Parabolica that did send an F3 driver flying almost into the shrubs, like hit the fence, the whole nine. And the car catching on fire in this movie is based off of Romain Grosjean's accident in, I think, 2020, 2021. An insanely scary incident that it's incredible that he was able to walk away from. But nonetheless, that's what it's based on. So there was some foundation to it, whether it's realistic or not. I don't know necessarily that I would agree with it was realistic, but again, this is Hollywood. This is movies. We got to get some stakes. We got a big action. We got a big crashes. Let's see. Yeah, they never showed qualifying in this movie. That is a real critique of mine. There's a lot of stakes to be had within that. The idea that a team can go from last to fighting for race wins is not unfounded. And I'm surprised that you missed this because you're a McLaren fan who watched them go from absolute dirt to the back of the grid in Oscar Piastri's first season to by the time they got to Silverstone, they were fighting Red Bull for race wins. So it is not impossible to make the leap from the back of the grid to the front if you upgrade the car effectively.
I guess.
The inter-team dynamics of this movie.
Then you should have done a better job of highlighting the upgrades.
Well, like, again, this isn't a technical analysis.
They made it like, hey, this driver is the reason why we're winning. Not like, hey, we absolutely scrapped the car and then redid it.
They characterized the upgrades as being a huge part of that. I mean, they gave you a really good technical look, by the way. Within the movie, you got to see 3 different facilities. You got to see the outside of McLaren.
I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that they went inside and showed you the wind tunnel and showed you some of the upgrades.
I did enjoy that stuff. That like, hell, you don't even see a lot of that like generally from the media.
Yeah, I did enjoy that part.
We got to see, I think, the simulator from Williams, which is a part of that movie later on when Joshua Pierce is realizing that, I really shouldn't have tried to overtake Max Verstappen at the Parabolica and the what? How crazy. I should have listened to the old man. We got to see the interiors of Brackley, which is where Mercedes headquarters is, and the exterior shot of the Apex GP headquarters is the McLaren building.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a nice touch. We got some good access for that. As far as the qualifying thing at the end of the movie, Sonny can't just walk back on the grid, and with those level of medical issues, probably would not have been able to drive the car
for sure.
But again, it's fun. It's movie stuff. The villain of the movie was a real bastard. I'll say that. I mean, he sucked. I mean, he purposely defying the team. I thought he was an interesting little antagonist towards the end of things. Javier Bardem's character is a lot of fun. As far as the actors are concerned, I think everybody actually had a lot of fun doing this movie. Brad Pitt seemed like he was really enjoying himself. His character isn't terribly complex, but it doesn't need to be. Joshua Pierce's character, I liked his character. I liked his role in the movie. I think they could have fleshed his character and his development out a little bit more. His arc maybe a little bit. The crash, I wouldn't really call it a crash. The incident he has at the end of the race with Lewis, I thought was an interesting touch because Lewis at the end of the movie is, he the amount of aura he gives, by the way, in that final shot, it's sick. But I love the touch that Lewis, being the producer of this movie, could not have himself lose this race normally. He had to lose because he crashed with Joshua Pierce's car, and then, through goes Sonny Hayes. Right. I love the touch of the through goes Hamilton in there too.
Oh, okay. I was about to ask. I
absolutely picked it up. I absolutely picked it up. Okay. The exposition on the outside of the movie sometimes where they were explaining things a little bit extra, but you have to kind of explain things to non-fans. I get it. So the movie has some problems. Sonny winning that final racing scene in Abu Dhabi was badass. I love that final section of the movie where they obviously is the race lead. He's got the Ferrari trailing behind him. He's flying.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was sick.
The music was fantastic. Really enjoyed it. The outside soundtrack, the song with Doja Cat in it. I've listened to that a lot before the movie. I've actually listened to it quite a bit since. I think Tate McRae did some stuff for it too. Hans Zimmer was the main soundtrack artist for this. Hans Zimmer always delivers. If you're a movie buff, you're gonna love everything that man does. He was also the music director for Shark Tale. Fun fact. So now you know. But I loved it. I had a really fun time. I would not tell anybody not to go watch this movie. I've
given multiple people recommendations.
This is a fun way if you're like, I've never gotten into F1. I've never watched F1 before. You can watch this movie and then come out of it asking questions to your F1 fans.
Or us.
or us,
Please.
What did you guys think of the movie? I want to know what the TLPs think. If you've gotten this far into the podcast, by the way, this is our longest episode to date.
This year we've ran some audio ones that were
I don't
quite
know.
long.
I think this is our longest one yet. We'll go back and look, but I'm pretty confident in that statement.
Lots of shorts for me.
Look, overall rating, if I had to get a number, I'm going to give it a 7.5, 7.7 out of 10. It is a fun popcorn movie. Go see it in theaters. You pay for the extra experience. Go see it in an IMAX.
Oh yeah.
If you got
IMAX,
a theater that has like the moving seats, I got a chance to experience
40X.
that. Dude, awesome.
Yeah, I wish I could have been able to do that. That would have been sick. I watched mine in XD. You can watch it XD. You can watch IMAX.
But this is a movie you go to the
40X.
theaters for. 100%.
You go to the theaters unless you just got the most sick setup of all time. But if you can't watch it in the theaters,
Hook the racing rig up to it.
Yeah, that would actually be kind of sick. Anyway, fun
movie.
I actually agree. 7.5 is good.